Good morning, students. So today we will be discussing the chapter Manufacturing Industries of Grade 10th Geography. So first of all, let's define manufacturing. So students, manufacturing, it is the production of goods in large quantities. So what in manufacturing, what we are doing? We are producing the goods in large quantities after processing from raw material. So from the primary goods, that is the raw material, we are producing the products in large quantities and we are converting the raw material into valuable products. So this process is called manufacturing. So again, production of goods in large quantities. So mass scale production we are doing. We are producing the goods in more number after processing from where? From the primary goods. That is the raw material we are getting from the primary sector to more valuable products. So more value we are adding to the raw material, and then we are finally producing a finished product or the valuable product, and this entire process is called manufacturing. Very simple example, like cloth we are manufacturing from the primary good or the raw material which we obtain from the primary sector, that is agriculture, cotton. Similarly, sugar we are manufacturing from the primary product, that is sugar cane. So this was about manufacturing. I hope you understand. After that, let's define manufacturing industries. Now the place where this process is being carried out, the place where we are manufacturing the products from the raw material, or where we are the place where we are converting the primary product, that is a raw material, into a more finished good, is called manufacturing industries. Like for example, cotton textile mills, sugar mills, iron and steel plants. So all these are manufacturing industries. So these are manufacturing industries are very important. If we want to determine the economic strength of any nation, we must know what is the condition of the manufacturing industries in that respective country. So it can be, economic strength can be easily determined by the manufacturing industries. So in this we have to see what is the importance of the manufacturing industries for any economy. So here let's start the importance of the manufacturing industries. So first point, students, is economic strength. First is economic strength. So if we want to know how much country is economically sound, so we should know what is the scenario of the manufacturing industries, how much manufacturing industries are developed in these countries. So directly, the direct link is there. More and more manufacturing industries are developed, more and more economic strength, and more the country will be economically sound, more contributions of the secondary sector will be there to the GDP. Next is modernizing agriculture. So this is the next importance of the manufacturing industries, that they help in modernizing agriculture by providing them equipments which are required to improve the productivity of the agriculture. So many equipments are required, machinery is required, fertilizers, HYV seeds are required, pesticides are required, combines, tractors, threshers, so harvesters. So all these are required in order to make the agriculture production process more efficient. So this is possible because of manufacturing industries only. Next is reduces the dependence on agriculture. Now if more and more secondary sector is developed, so obviously the surplus labor from the agriculture can be absorbed in the secondary sector. If more and more manufacturing industries are developed, in our country what is the problem? The main cause of our poverty is over dependence on agriculture. So in our case, students, in our country, more than 55 to 60% of population is engaged in agriculture, but still the GDP contributions are very less from the primary sector, that is agriculture. Only 15 and 16% contribution is there. Why this problem is there? This much population is engaged, this much employment is there in the agriculture, but still the contributions are very less. This is because of the phenomena of disguised unemployment. That is, people are employed, hidden unemployment is there in the agriculture. People are employed, it seems to be they are working, but they are not working up to their full potential. And if that kind of labor can be easily migrated to the secondary sector, it will supplement their income also, and they can be utilized for better purposes also. So reduces dependence on agriculture. So if more and more manufacturing industries are there, easily they can absorb the surplus labor which is sitting idle in the agriculture sector. Next is reduction in poverty and unemployment. If these problems we have to overcome, industrial development is the precondition to reduce poverty and unemployment in any country. So, industrial development is certainly a prerequisite to overcome poverty, to reduce poverty and unemployment in our country. More and more manufacturing industries will be set up, more and more infrastructure will be created. Obviously we will be able to overcome unemployment, we will be able to generate the employment, and wages will be there, people will be employed, people will be getting the wages, standard of living will improve, and we will be able to overcome the problem of poverty also to some extent. After that, the next is increase in trade and commerce. So students, if more and more production we are doing, so obviously, so more production will be there, obviously more exports will be there. So if more exports are there, it means we have favorable balance of trade, and always the favorable balance of trade works well in the favor of the country. If more and more imports are there and our exports are very less, then unfavorable balance of trade will be there, the country will be in problem. So the same scenario it happened in 1991 also. We suffered the depletion in the foreign exchange reserves also because of the Gulf War in 1991. If you remember, the oil prices were very high, the supply was less because of the Gulf War, prices were very high, so it led to the depletion of the foreign exchange reserves. We were having this problem, then that's why we went for LPG reforms in 1991. So it is always better to have more exports, and if you have more exports, trade and commerce will also increase. So when you will have more exports, when more and more production will be done in the country, and where the production will be done, if better infrastructure you have, if better manufacturing industries are established in your country. So, if more and more exports we are doing, trade and commerce is also increasing, what will happen? There is increase in the foreign exchange in our country. So, this is always a win-win situation for any country, the increase in the foreign exchange reserves. Then after that, if more and more manufacturing industries will be well developed, then we will be able to manufacture goods of higher value, and it will bring more prosperity to our country. So if all the resources are there, we can manufacture the goods of higher value, be it jewelry, precious jewelry, be it cars, some luxury cars. So it will obviously bring more prosperity to any economy. Then daily needs, so many articles are there of the daily needs which the people require, so it can be manufactured easily at the mass scale in less time, efficiently in manufacturing industries. Then the next importance is utilization of natural resources. So students, if abundant natural resources are there in the country, then we have to harness them also, we have to utilize them properly. So how we will be able to harness them? If our infrastructure is well developed, and if manufacturing industries are well developed. If manufacturing industries are there, then only we will be able to utilize our abundant natural resources in a proper way, in optimum way. So this was all, students, the importance of the manufacturing industries we have seen. So very easily the 5 mark question you can attempt about the importance of the manufacturing industry. They can ask you, and very easily you can write about these points. Now next is, students, relationship between agriculture and industry. Agriculture and industry go hand in hand. Justify. Agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other, they are not separated from each other. Justify. What are the contributions of the agriculture to industry and vice versa? What are the contributions of the industries to the agriculture? So anyway, the question can be asked, the content will remain the same. So these points will only be covered under this. So let's discuss these points quickly. So students, agriculture provides raw material to the industry. So agro industry, agro based industry, the industry which is dependent on the agriculture for its raw material, whether it is sugar industry which is dependent on agriculture for sugarcane, whether it is cotton textile industry which is dependent on agriculture for cotton, or whether it is jute textile which is dependent on agriculture for jute. So the agro-based industry is dependent on completely on agriculture for its raw material. Then after that, the agriculture, whatever capital formation is there in the agriculture, can be utilized in the industry very properly. If more and more capital formation is there, if more and more agriculture prosperity is there, farmer will be having the income, they will go for the fixed capital formation, they will be demanding more and more machinery if surplus money they have, so which is also better for the industry. More and more demand will be there which can be utilized in industry. So if prosperity is there in the agriculture, everything is going well in agriculture, more and more demand will be there for the inputs which are supplied by the industry only. Next is agriculture. So you know, it provides food to all, whether they are industrial worker or any common people, the citizens of the country. So it provides food and self-sufficiency. We are self-sufficient in food grain production. Next is the industry. Now let's see what are the contributions of the industry to the agriculture. So industry provides inputs to the agriculture. So this is very important. Whatever inputs are required in order to improve the productivity of the agriculture is supplied by industry only, whether it is fertilizers, pesticides are there, any machinery, any equipment is there. So all this is supplied by industry, which makes the agriculture process more efficient and productivity of the agriculture increases. The industry, no doubt, provides infrastructure facilities also, whether transport is there. So you know, all these sectors are interdependent of the economy. So transport facilities are there, well laid down roads are there, communication facilities are there, any other infrastructure facilities, it will be provided by industry only. Then industry can absorb the surplus labor force which is sitting idle in the agriculture. Already we have discussed about the over dependence on agriculture in India. We have, this is one of the main cause of poverty also. So disguised unemployment is there in the agriculture, so that surplus labor can be easily absorbed in the industrial sector, and it will reduces the dependence on agriculture also. So this was students' relationship between agriculture and industry.